Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. This video is going to be about this topic that had really taken me by storm last year, end of last year, towards end of last year, and I was thinking a lot about it and imbibing it, and kind of like stopped thinking about it so actively, but it's come back in a big way because it's been a little bit more imbibed. So hopefully I will be able to transmit this newfound realization to you. Like it's this is going to be more of these are things that we can understand intellectually, but then when we start to have a realized knowledge, then we're able to absorb it. Like it becomes a part of us more deeper and deeper. So it's not yet, like, I wouldn't say 100% part of me by any means, any stretch of the imagination, but it is deeper. And hopefully just by hearing this story you would be able to imbibe it as well, and just see that there is a possibility of it actually being deeper. Okay. Enough context. Context is very, very crucial. And enough. Okay. So last year I had heard this person, this spiritual preacher, who had talked about respect everyone the way you respect the person you respect the most. Okay. This had just taken, I'd heard that and I completely stopped everything else and I was just listening to that. I was like, okay, this is powerful. And I can feel that this is one of the most important things for human beings in order to develop humility and in order to remove judgment. Like, so I thought about this a lot, and what I figured out is that there are two different aspects to this, to how we look at people. One is through our intellect, it's called discernment or awareness, and the other is judgment, and that does not come through the intellect, that comes through the ego. And usually we merge these two things, we don't need to. So for example, it is possible, there was a friend of mine, I'm going to give a very real example right now. There was a friend of mine 2 years ago. We weren't that close or anything. We kind of, spent a little bit of time together, and it was good. It was good. But there was no attachment. Like, what I'm trying to say is that it was a friend. Like, there's no, like, it was not a personal attachment to someone. It was not a romantic interest. It wasn't someone I was like, that way. So there was a emotional distance, but we were friends. He offered to help me clean my roof. So I accepted it. I said, okay, yes, please, I would love that, because I was talking about how it's dirty and it needs to be done and blah, blah, and like whatever. And he's like, I can help you. I was like, sure, absolutely. And he didn't. What he had just said, I will help you, was a polite thing to say. He thought that he didn't expect me to take him up on it. He didn't have any intention of helping me. He just offered it as a way to make himself feel good or whatever it is. Like, people do that sometimes, right? They'll just offer, they'll fake offer, they'll not real offer. So that was a fake offer. And I felt bad. I did not feel happy about that. I was okay. I mean, I was fine. It was okay, but I felt bad. And so now there was a similar incident. A friend came over and he offered to do something again, and I was like, okay. And that person didn't do it, and I didn't feel bad at all. And okay, so this what brought this shift was this sentence last end of last year, and me contemplating on it so much. And even though I forgot about it, the last few months I'd forgotten about it. I hadn't actively thought about that. I only actively thought about it last night when I was talking to this friend of mine, and I was telling her, "Oh, look, like this is what, like, I was having the same conversation with her last night." And then suddenly I was like, "Oh, yeah, this is what happened." I connected it while talking to her. I connected this thing. So respect everyone the way you respect the person you respect the most. So I was able to really, like, I was able to think, like, how do I respect? I would find, so I found somebody who I liked. I treated everybody with respect. It's not, but I wanted to respect, not just to treat everyone with respect, but to actually respect people like that. So I found somebody I liked, but then I had certain judgments about certain things about that person. And I managed to think about this, like, think, how do I respect this person? How do I really respect this person? And one of the ways was that I was like, I'm sending these links of things that I really find enlightening and powerful and whatever to some people, but not to some people, because I feel like maybe they're not going to understand or they're not going to like it. But there is a judgment to that. So I decided to send it to everyone. In that moment, I was like, I decided to send it to everyone. And then I asked them, I in person asked them, or on the phone or whatever, is this something you would like more of? Because I'd never sent this link to them, right? I just made an assumption, and that had come from judgment. This person isn't the growth oriented enough or intelligent or whatever it is. Like, I had all kinds of judgments for different people. So I sent it to everyone, and then I asked them, is this something you would like more of? Does this feel inspiring to you? And when they said no, I was like, okay. So this person said no, and I was like, completely okay. But I started to find things like that, and I was able to, at least with one person, get to the place where I respected him at the highest levels, absolute highest levels. That was such a game changer for me. I wasn't able to translate it with everyone, but I think it did somehow subconsciously. It translated to a deeper respect for other people as well. And I was able to let go, like, okay, they said they're going to do something, they didn't do it. It doesn't matter. They said something which was which turned out to be a lie. It doesn't matter. Or little white lie. No, like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I can still respect the person. So that started happening subtly a little bit, because I started to see my relationship with other people change. And it's not that I did, like, I had very good boundaries. Like, there was another person, right? And he'd done some things. Like, we had a fight, and it wasn't a pleasant end. Like, it was a kind of an unpleasant end. And but then we were hanging out in the same circle, so we started talking again, and we just very normal talk. We weren't as close anymore, we weren't talking as much anymore, but very normal talk. But then when I started to see that this person wanted a closer relationship with me again, I told this person, I am ready to give to you. I will give to you as much as I possibly can. Like, in terms of, I mean, he's not asking for too much. Of course, I'm going to have boundaries around that, but I will give, like, with my heart. My heart is open to give to you, right? However much time I have, I will give to you, but I will not receive from you. So I spoke this to the person, right? I will not receive from you. I will not tell you about like, you're starting to ask me personal questions, and I will not tell you about my personal life. I will give to you until we clear out, because you've hurt me, you've broken my heart into a million pieces. And this was a friend thing, of course, not nothing, but still, I mean, that person did break my heart. So I was like, you broke my heart, and until we have a conversation in person, and until you go through whatever process you need to go through in order to earn my trust again, because I don't know if I can trust you like that immediately, right? So I told this person that, like, I will give to you, but I will not receive from you, and I will not tell you about my personal life until we have this. And he is like, okay, what do I need to do to fix it? And I was like, okay, all we need is you set up a time, you drive this thing, you set up a time, and when we're going to talk. He's like, I don't know what to say. I was like, you don't need to say. I was the one who was hurt. I will drive the conversation. I will tell you why I was hurt, but you do need to set up the time. You need to want this thing to happen. You need to want to clear this out. And so, but still, my heart is so open to him, and I have so much respect for him, right? It's not that I don't have respect for him. Okay, so now this third scenario that happened a few days ago, where this person said that they're going to do something, and they didn't. Or they kind of like did, or whatever they try to do. So it's the same thing. But my respect for the person did not dwindle. Earlier, I was like, even last year, even like 2 years ago, for sure, with that example of the roof cleaning person, I did feel bad, right? And I felt like, okay, this person is not to be trusted and all that. Right now, I have so much respect for this person, even though they didn't do what I mean, even though they do these little white lies, and I used to get so triggered by these little white lies. I mean, I lie. I'm not saying I'm always truthful and all that. I do lie, but I lie usually in very specific situations where I need to protect myself because somebody's asking personal questions and I don't want to. Like, so I have my things, but I don't do these little white lies like, where are you? Are you at the pizza place yet? No. But yes, I am at the pizza place when you're not, right? That kind of thing. I don't do that. Like if I was telling my friend also, that girl I was talking to yesterday, she sent me a message. I'm in the cab. I'll see you at this time. When she sent me the message, I knew without the slightest shadow of a doubt that she was actually in the cab, right? So that these little things make a big difference. Like I know that she's in the cab. If she's saying she's in the cab, I'll be there at this time. I know that she's in the cab. I know that she's not lying. So yeah. Anyways. So okay. This incident about respecting people is that you can use your intellect, you can set boundaries, and you can respect the person at the highest levels. What does that mean? What does that look like? How does that look? You can intellectually, you can be aware, you can discern, okay, this person has this tendency to do these little white lies, this person has this tendency to make promises that they don't intend to keep. Okay, fine. Next time the person offers something, can I do this for you? You can just politely decline, right? You can say no. But understand that this person, like, okay, the person who helped me with the roof, um, he made a promise that he's going to help me with the cleaning of the roof. He broke the promise. What he's going to face, the karma he's going to face, is between him and God. It has got nothing to do with me. It has absolutely nothing to do with me. And I am sitting there and inserting myself into his world and his whatever, and I'm feeling bad about it. He's doing the thing. He's doing the wrong thing. I'm not doing the wrong thing in this situation, right? And there are many situations where I do the wrong thing. And I didn't ask him, can you help me clean the room? Or I didn't put any pressure, right? He offered himself. So he's offering something, he's breaking his word, he's going to face the consequences. Who am I? Like, why am I inserting myself into the picture and feeling bad about what he's doing in his life? I mean, that doesn't make any sense, right? Sure, I mean, I relied on him for a little bit. I thought he would help, but it's my life. I mean, I had to clean it anyways before he offered. I have to clean it afterwards anyways. Nothing changes for me. There is no reason at all for me to feel bad about it, for me to insert myself into this picture. It is completely ridiculous. So it is the same thing with him now, with the latest person who offered something and who was doing these little white lies. I was like, it's exactly the same thing. I do not need to insert myself into the picture and feel bad about his actions. This has got absolutely nothing to do with me. And so that ego, that judgment, that's another deeper understanding, that ego, the judgment, comes because we feel like we have been wronged, like we are owed something because he said something to me and now we are entitled to that because he has offered it, right? But if we take ourselves out of the picture, if we take our ego out of the picture, oh, somebody said something to me and somebody did not do it, so it's like they didn't do it because I am not good enough for them or something like that. If we take that out of the picture, then the judgment automatically stops. The judgment comes because the ego is hurt, but the ego does not need to be hurt. It doesn't mean anything. Like this, it's the person saying something, the person promising something, the person not following through. I am nowhere in the picture, and I do not need to insert myself into the picture. I do not need to feel bad about it. I do not need to, yeah. Okay, so in that way, then I can fully see the other person, and I can accept the other person. And yes, I will not accept I will not receive from him anymore because I know that he's it's not very sincere, and that's okay. That's okay because he's working through life. He has this as a problem. I have a million other things as a problem, like a million other things. So I am no one to judge him. I am totally flawed. This particular thing I've got a handle on much better than him, but there are many other particular things that he has a handle on much better than me. So I am not overall a better person than him or whatever, right? It's, and I can, so that's why I can respect him as a, so I, it's the crux, the end of this is, it's not that I respect you because you do certain things. I just respect you. That's it. And then that's it. It's over. I don't need to find reasons for that. For I respect you because. that is just out of the picture. I simply respect you because you exist, because you're breathing, because you're a living being, because God loves you, and because God loves everyone, and because I love God, and I want to love God, and I want to respect everybody and love everybody as you know. I want to see every God in everybody because God is in everybody. So okay. Yeah, this was a very, very powerful conversation that I had with my friend yesterday, which culminated all of it. I mean, my brain works a lot when I'm talking to people, so it's very helpful for me. Okay. Wish you a day filled with lots of realizations. I hope this kind of opens up something in you and gets you closer to, if you're not already there, gets you closer to respecting everyone at the highest levels and building better relationships because you're not judging inside. And when you're judging inside, then other people can tell that you're judging, even like because our subconscious talks to each other through facial expressions, body language, energy, whatever. So if you're judging people, then people will be able to sense that you're judging them. So hopefully this will clear this out for you. Okay. Wish you a beautiful day. Radhe Radhe.